GST tax reduction has definitely given an impetus to Indian automobile manufacturers. They are expecting good festive season, but there's a lot to talk about what's going on in Indian automobile industry. And to talk more about it, I have Mr. Vikram Gulati. Thank you so much for joining us today. So first question, what are your expectations with this reduction, tax regularization? What will be the impact on demand?
So, first of all, we must thank the government for this path-breaking reform. It's actually very phenomenal, and it's going to have a huge impact not only in terms of demand, but more wider impact because it brings in structural changes, makes the entire system much more less friction. It puts more money in the hands of the people, the common man, and therefore there will be a multiplier effect. Plus, the auto sector has also seen a significant decrease in the incidence of taxation, with small cars going from 28 to 18 and large cars settling it at 40. So there has not been a single, I would say, slab which is not, or a product which has not seen a decrease. This would definitely lead to a boost in confidence, consumer spending, and hence also good for the automotive sector.
So what is your growth expectation for this year? Because when we started the year, Siam was a little muted in their growth expectation. This is coming right in the middle of the year, but also at the time when festive season, which is India's biggest, for OEMs, is one of the biggest seasons. So what are your expectations for growth?
So I think this will definitely help ramp up growth. We expect that the numbers that the industry might have been projecting earlier would definitely look much better now. I believe it's really going to be positive for growth. In terms of numbers, it's very difficult to put those down right now. But I definitely what can say with confidence is that this will definitely lead to a much better growth projection now going forward with perhaps half the year to go.
Now, I want to ask you about E20 as well, because Toyota has been working on flex fuel vehicles for a long time, and now that E20 has come to India, people are raising concerns about mileage. Biggest concern is that mileage. The second concern is the longevity of vehicles. And you have been defending ethanol blending. Can you tell us what is your data points that you are relying on?
So one must remember that the ethanol program has just not come in overnight. It's a very well planned program which has spanned 2 decades, and now the E20 program actually is, if you look at it, starts from 2018 onwards. So there has been a very conscious effort on all stakeholders, particularly the government, to make sure that this program is implemented in a manner that doesn't bring about disruption. Therefore, in 2021, ARAI, which is the leading testing agency within the country, had taken legacy vehicles. These are old vehicles of all the OEMs with varying vintages and tested them for E20. These are all E10 vehicles. Now, the test results conclusively point out that there is no concern with regard to damage to the vehicle, which means damage to an E10 vehicle, an old vehicle using E20. There is, however, some drop in mileage. It's not significant. It ranges from 2 to 4% is what I gather. But for new vehicles, the government had introduced, along with the OEMs, a very phased introduction. So with effect from 2023, 1st April, all the vehicles that have been sold have been fully compliant with E20 requirements in terms of material compatibility. And post April of this year, all the vehicles that are sold are also tested, homologated and certified for emissions for using E20. And just another factoid which I think will give confidence to all concerned is that it's not been E10 to E20 overnight. In fact, the country has moved from 10, 15, 18, 19, 20. So it's been quite some time, and there haven't been any incidences reported so far which indicate that there should be any concern.
So you think that all the talks that is going on social media is a little bit of a hype? Minister also insinuated something like that.
Well, I would just go with the facts. And the other story, as you know, proud Indians, we must reflect upon is what this has delivered. It's delivered savings of 1.4 trillion rupees, 1,40,000 crore rupees, in terms of savings in terms of fossil fuel imports. Out of that 1.2 trillion rupees, 1,20,000 crore farmers को गए हैं. We don't see farmers, sugarcane farmers agitating for payments to be made. We see the food grains which are in surplus not rotting. These are now being diverted towards the ethanol program. As the Honorable Minister was mentioning, the procurement price of maize in states like UP, Bihar have gone up substantially, thereby adding to farmer incomes. And of course, ethanol being carbon neutral has also helped in terms of saving huge amounts of carbon emissions just with the E20 program. But there is huge potential that is still there. For example, for E20, we roughly need 1,016 crore liters. The capacity that exists today is for around 1,700 to 1,800 crore liters. There is enough food grain and enough sugarcane that's surplus to be able to deliver that. And we believe that this excess can prove to be hugely beneficial for our economy, environment, and to agrarian incomes. And for that, we believe going forward, flex fuel technology is really going to be an important key player.
You know, now the other concern about blending of ethanol is also this, that maybe it will go beyond E20, and will the cars which are older cars, which is where the bigger problem is, will they be able to take it? Like there's already some chatter about E27. Have you got any clarity from the government whether they are going to blend ethanol further from here, or what is the timeline on that?
I think very clear signals from the government. In fact, we heard the government officials making it very clear in no uncertain terms that E20 is now going to be stabilized. We're not going beyond E20. For the path forward, the government's own roadmap shows that flex fuel vehicles would be the way approach forward. So E20 will stabilize. Excess ethanol can be taken up by new flex fuel vehicles that come in the market. These vehicles in any case are designed to operate on any mix of ethanol from E20 to E100. Most of the OEMs have shown prototypes. We are hopeful that the government will come out with policy enablers which will help consumers adopt these technologies, because as with all green technologies, the manufacturing cost of these technologies is higher, and therefore with fiscal measures and perhaps with other measures including CAFE, there would be enough motivation for consumers to adopt these vehicles when they buy new vehicles, which can take care of surplus. And this is the approach that's been followed by all economies, including Brazil.
I want to ask you this question, that Toyota has flex fuel across the world at various level of ethanol blending. Do you have some data on how much impact does ethanol blending has on fuel efficiency?
Well, yes. You see, it's a simple chemical scientific fact that ethanol has lesser calorific value as compared to petrol. Generally speaking, because of the less energy content, if you use pure ethanol only, the fuel efficiency can go down by approximately 27 to 30%. That is mileage, right? However, other countries have found various ways to get around this. There is technological solution. For example, you can have electrified flex fuel vehicles, which are now becoming very popular globally. These actually offset the fuel mileage loss more than what is lost. So instead of, let's say, 30% getting lost, you may actually gain, let's say, 40 to 60% because of the electric powertrain, and therefore be even net positive on mileage, even with using 100%. And it's something that's already there globally quite popular now in Brazil. Other measures that countries have adopted are policy levers. For instance, Brazil has a legislation where the price of ethanol differential is kept at 33% vis-a-vis petrol. I don't think that's really a practical and a feasible solution for India. The other points is their policies towards CAFE or taxation equal to our GST promotes flex fuel and electrified flex fuel vehicles purely based upon how much benefit they can deliver in terms of efficiency. So if they are giving X percent, let's say, benefit to a flex fuel, they will give an X plus Y to an electrified flex fuel based upon the efficiency gain that it is able to deliver. So Brazil right now has a monofuel of 27. Yet they are able to mix an average of 45 to 50%. So all that excess ethanol which is there in that average is basically coming from flex fuels and electrified flex fuels.
All right, Mr. Gulati, I'm running out of time, but I would love to have a little longer conversation on this with you. They were very insightful conversation. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank you
a lot.
for having me.